She dazzled the world in diamonds, but Audrey Hepburn quietly died with almost nothing left in her bank account.
Hello, Pete.
Hello.
Hap.
Hello, Hap.
That was quite a show back there.
Audrey Hepburn, Hollywood's beloved icon, lived a life of glamour and grace, but behind the scenes, her fortune faced shocking twists and turns. From Nazi-looted family wealth to Hollywood pay cuts, secret divorces, and selfless charity, her financial journey was as dramatic as her films. Here's the untold story of Audrey's lost millions.
Oh, Sabrina, where have you been all my life?
Right over the
Audrey
garage.
wasn't born into poverty, far from it. Her mother, Ella van Heemstra, was a Dutch aristocratic baroness with deep family roots and considerable wealth. But when World War II hit, everything changed. The Nazis seized the family's assets, land and property, leaving them with almost nothing to survive on. Audrey's childhood was marked by trauma and starvation. Her British banker father, Joseph Rustin, had already abandoned the family in 1935. He left them emotionally shattered and financially ruined. Audrey would later say she spent years trying to fill the hole he left behind. To hide their family's ties to Nazi sympathizers, Ella altered their names. Audrey became Hepburn to erase any trace of the past, but that choice came with a heavy emotional price. Audrey once admitted, "It was a lie that haunted us." She carried the weight of her family's secrets for life. During the war, Audrey witnessed horrors most of Hollywood never imagined. Public executions, bombings, and hunger. She ate tulip bulbs to survive. These years formed her backbone, values, empathy, and quiet strength. But the emotional scars they created stood in the way of most of the choices she would later make in life, especially the financial decisions. The young Audrey Hepburn became an overnight star after starring in Roman Holiday. The film grossed a stupendous $12 million, enormous in those days. Can you guess the amount she received? Merely $12,500. Gregory Peck, meanwhile, was paid 5 times as much. Paramount would not allow for any renegotiation of her salary, claiming she was an unknown actress at the time of signing. Even after she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, she continued to be paid far less than any of her male co-stars. Her pay for Sabrina increased ever so slightly to $15,000. Despite becoming a fashion icon and a critical darling, Audrey was never paid like the star she was. Studios took advantage of her grace and humility. She never threw tantrums or demanded more. She believed good work spoke for itself. But in Hollywood, silence can be expensive. Even when she earned a $1 million for My Fair Lady, the celebration was short-lived. The studio made a brutal decision. They dubbed her singing voice without telling her. The humiliation stung. Audrey later admitted she felt betrayed. That betrayal wasn't just emotional. It diminished her bargaining power for future roles.
ABC Madrid.
Encantada.
Lampe, New York Herald Tribune.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Irving Ranovich, CR Photo Service.
How'd you do?
May I present Your Highness with some commemorative photos of yours? Visit to Rome?
From an outward appearance of beauty, Audrey's love story was one of tragedy and huge financial loss. Ferrer was her first husband, an actor, and he was at once the most charming man and yet so domineering about every aspect of her life that it extended even to controlling her career and her finances. This control that Ferrer exercised irregularly all extended to decisions in the professional career of Audrey. Right under her nose and without her even being aware of it, he rejected huge roles for her, like The Diary of Anne Frank. These were missed opportunities for her, not only from an artistic point of view, but also in terms of financial gain. Audrey was being robbed of her chances to make more money for herself by the person she trusted more than anyone else. Because of Ferrer's tight control, Audrey began to lose autonomy over her career. Rather than continuing as a shining star, she slowly transitioned into more of a supportive caretaker role in the relationship. She stepped away from films, and with it, from the income and legacy she could have secured. Their marriage came to an end in 1968. But by then, the financial wounds were already deep. Audrey didn't just walk away from a broken relationship, she walked away with limited control over the fortune she had once built. The emotional and financial toll lingered long after Ferrer was gone from her life. Later, she married Italian psychiatrist Andrea Dotti, believing this relationship would bring peace. But instead of calm, he brought turmoil. He partied across Europe while Audrey stayed home, raising their son. Meanwhile, he freely spent her money, draining more of her financial security with each passing day. Paparazzi often spotted Dotti with other women in glamorous clubs. These images weren't just humiliating, they signaled Audrey's growing losses. She was trying to hold together a home and a reputation while her bank account quietly suffered. Once again, she found herself sacrificing for love and paying the price. Audrey returned to acting in the late 1970s and early 1980s in one last effort to heal emotionally and financially. Hoping to revive her career, she picked parts in movies including Bloodline, and they all laughed. Times had changed though, and her once devoted audience had gone on. Regrettably, these movies failed to draw in the public. Rather than turning into the comeback she had hoped for, they only worsened her financial problems. The roles did not bring back her popularity or her income. They used what was left of her funds, depriving her of the financial cushion she deserved.
Life-saving work.
UNICEF means the survival, development, and protection of children all over the world.
Audrey Hepburn left Hollywood's glare after decades of movie success and went towards something more profound, rescuing youngsters in distress. Inspired by her upbringing throughout World War II, she became consumed by charitable activities. She distributed almost 8% of her last fortune, so she wasn't only a spokeswoman. Audrey's travels brought her to locations including Somalia, Vietnam, Sudan, and Ethiopia. She showed up as a silent, sympathetic observer of suffering, not as a film legend. She paid for these travels herself, frequently peddling her jewelry or valued paintings to keep going, rejecting outside assistance. She also refused special treatment. When funds were running dangerously low, she even made the heartbreaking decision to sell her beloved villa in Switzerland. Every decision showed how serious she was. While others donated time, Audrey gave everything she had. Her commitment wasn't performative, it was sacrificial, selfless, and deeply personal, born from real empathy. Unlike many celebrities, Audrey shunned the spotlight when doing charity work. No photo ops, no PR teams. Friends were concerned, saying she was living like a nun. But Audrey remained firm, believing those who have must give. It wasn't just something she said, it was how she lived every single day. She never wanted praise. Instead, she asked global leaders for food, shelter, and medicine. She held starving children, stood in war zones, and pleaded for help where systems failed. Audrey's fame opened doors, but it was her heart that kept them open. Her true legacy was written in compassion.
Arguably her most well-known role, Audrey Hepburn's take on the fictional New York socialite Holly Golightly is without a doubt one of cinematic history's most iconic.
How do I look?
Very good. I must say I'm amazed.
You were a darling to help. I could never have done it without you.
Her character's style would prove to be incredibly influential, and Hepburn herself would see her star rise considerably in the wake of the film's tremendous success. While she was unable to take home the Oscar for Best Actress, many critics were quick to shower her with praise, and the film has since become a must-see for any true Audrey Hepburn fan, of which there are no doubt plenty.
Don't you just love it?
Love what?
I want you to give me everything you want to give me.
As the film bounces from past to present, viewers are treated to a bold and at times innovative tale of love on the brink, brought to life thanks to a couple of incredible performances from Hepburn and her on-screen husband Albert Finney.
I won't ever let you down.
How will you?
I don't care what you do just as long as I've got you.
And in her last months, she talked more about UNICEF than her illness. She left this world not with wealth, but with wisdom few ever achieved.
I'm truly, truly grateful and terrible.
Someday, heartbreaker.
At the time of her death, Audrey's adjusted net worth stood around $55 million, but after expenses, charity, and taxes, only a fraction remained for her family. Most of it had been given away or invested in causes close to her heart. Money, she believed, was never meant to be hoarded. Today, her possessions continue to fund her legacy. Iconic Givenchy dresses, handwritten letters, and even her Breakfast at Tiffany's script have been auctioned off, some fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars. That script alone sold for $830 $247,000, with proceeds donated to children's charities. She once said, "Money means nothing to me. I've been broke before." That wasn't a complaint, it was her truth. Audrey knew that riches fade, but compassion doesn't. In an industry obsessed with status, she quietly rejected it all. Her generosity became her most valuable asset. Long after her death, Audrey continues to give. Every artifact sold brings support to those in need. Every story told reminds us that wealth is measured not by numbers, but by the lives we touch. And Audrey touched more lives than most billionaires ever will. That is the fortune she truly left behind. Audrey Hepburn gave up glamour for grace, choosing purpose over possessions. If her story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful journeys behind the spotlight. Hit the bell so you never miss a story that reminds us what true richness means.